welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay, yay, yay. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am the very tired Jimmy Wisman.
The very tired Jimmy Wisman. We're both beat, long weekends, but we're here, and we are pumped. We could not be happier to be here, because God, do we have a wild story.
I had the longest weekend. Friday, I took a day and drove to San Diego. I did 2 shows at the Comedy Palace, and I did a fucking U-turn. I drove from here all the way there.
This is Phoenix, Arizona. It's about 6 hours
away.
Did
2 shows and then packed my shit up and drove right. I didn't get a hotel room. I just drove home.
That's crazy.
I haven't caught up yet, so I'm trying.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. This will give you life and energy, Jimmy. Like everybody else out there listening, this is going to uplift you into another world when you hear about this young man here that we have to discuss tonight.
Because the world doesn't make any sense right now.
Oh,
this world is a disaster. Listen, Penn State went ahead and honored Joe Paterno.
Yeah, that's
this world doesn't make
just pushing forward. That's just we're
Remember
going.
When he was great?
We were champions. Remember when Blair Thomas had 1,200 yards? Anybody remember that? It was fun. No, that's a mess.
Some buttholes got violated, but he was great at one point.
What a disaster Penn State is. But we have somebody...
We'll discuss that at another time. Today...
We have somebody that's going to set the world straight for you, Jimmy. Let me tell you something, because
put some order in this universe.
He'll put some order in things. Everything will make sense once you hear about this gentleman here. Before we do that, I do want to just say thank you to everybody for the iTunes reviews this week. Can't thank you enough for that. That is the best thing you can do for us.
Can I tell you, not just that it's the best thing you can do for this podcast and for the helping and lending a hand to making this podcast more successful, what you do for my ego and for my validation as a person.
Let's give them reasons to review, not to review. Jimmy walking around with a swollen fucking head. We don't want that.
Right.
But that's okay. We'll live with it. I have to live with it. You guys it's fine. But I'll listen to Jimmy be excited about the reviews. It's fine. But yeah, please give us 5 stars.
Do you want to hear one?
No, we'll do it at the end.
Okay.
We'll do shout-outs and everything at the end.
Right.
We got so much to get to with this story.
Because it was so flattering.
It helps us so much, these reviews. Really drives us up the charts. We got a lot of new listeners this last couple weeks, and that's part of it. We get up in the rankings, people see us, and then they listen more.
And a huge number this week.
And it's good stuff.
It was crazy how many people listened.
We're psyched about it. We're very psyched. And we hope that everyone is buckled up. New listeners, this is a great one to ease you into, because this is what Crime and Sports is all about.
This is why we do this.
This man...
This is why we play on Sunday.
This man is pure hubris.
Somebody hit somebody.
Pure hubris. He's made of hubris.
Yes.
He lives in a hubris house. He is a lunatic, and it's a perfect blend. It's got some 60s, 70s style to it, mixed with just... all-time insanity. So it doesn't matter what decade. It's great. Guys, it's Carlos Monzon.
Okay.
Carlos Roque, I guess we'll call him Roque. I don't know how you want to say that. R-O-Q-U-E.
I don't know how it's pronounced.
Monzon. Doesn't matter. Okay. Carlos Monzon.
Rock?
Maybe.
Rock.
It would fit him. It fits. It fits.
Right.
Carlos Monzon, he's a professional boxer, of course, but that's only a small part of it. Because he's also a professional insane person. We'll get to that. He was born August 7th, 1942.
Oh.
So he's an older gent.
He's an old man.
He's from San Javier, Argentina.
All right.
Is where he hails from. Dirt poor.
Yeah.
Dirt poor.
I can't imagine.
It's odd. We've never covered a boxer where we're like, his father was a senator. Like, that's never happened. You know what I mean? Like,
it's always like Cinderella Man. They've got to struggle their ass off to get to where they are.
The new Creed movie. That's why you don't see actual heavyweight champion sons being heavyweight champions. Because why the hell would you let somebody beat you in the head if you had money?
Why would you fight if you've got an opportunity and an option somewhere else?
It's ridiculous. So, and like a lot of our athletes, intensely poor individual.
Terrific.
And this Argentina, rest of the world here, U.S., U.K., Ireland, Australia, Sweden, New Zealand, all of our top Canada. This is really poor. This isn't like our version of poor, where we're like, oh, look at that guy. This is like Bruno de Souza favela.
Right.
Fucking feed your girlfriend to a dog poor.
Right.
This is hardcore
You
shit
get
here.
beans and rice for dinner because there's no chimichangas, there's no tacos.
This is having 12 siblings poor.
Nice.
12. Now, there's conflicting reports that I know he was the 5th child.
All right.
So they say he grew up with the 4, but then everybody says he has 12. So we'll say that there's 7 more after him.
Right, and this
we'll just call it a day.
isn't Mormon big family. This is another one.
This
big
is
family.
We don't have birth control.
Right.
We're fucking anyway.
I had a long day.
I'm very drunk.
Sit on this.
Let's get
that
it on.
kind of big family.
So he's a highly educated individual.
Really?
He went to school up until about the mid 3rd grade. So we're talking highly
that's higher
educated.
learning.
That's
babe.
higher learning, about the 3rd grade. So he's like 8 years old.
Yeah.
He's like, I've had enough.
He's
I
the
think I know
problem
what I need.
solver.
I'll solve the problems. I think I know what I need to know.
3rd grade.
Sly Williams, that's a reference to.
My
Guys,
kid's
go
in
back and
3rd
check
grade
that out.
right now. He's a dumb shit.
Yeah, tell him to drop out of school and go get a few jobs, because that's what old
Support
Carlos
this
did.
family, boy.
Yeah, that's what he did. He went out to support. He had to support he had younger brothers and sisters to support now, with a bunch more, and his parents, and God knows how many more they spit out by the time he's in the 3rd grade. For Christ's sake, he sold newspapers, shine shoes. Regular
Typical 40s work.
like street urchin shit, basically. Total street urchin shit.
Stole apples.
Very Charles Dickens right here. He delivered milk.
He's a Spanish Charles Dickens.
He is. He's an indigenous Argentinian. That's another thing too. He's a part of the indigenous people of Argentina, which makes the upper crust not like him very much later on. But
he knows how to carve shit out of wood in 3rd grade already.
On the walls.
Yeah.
He knows how to make like a mountainside fortress. He can do that. He can carve that out and have that stand for eternity. He delivered milk. Like I said, he worked in like a meat plant, like just hauling meat around as a teenager. I mean, he did everything he possibly could.
So he's punching sides of beef and shit for training.
Absolutely. And he's punching a lot of things, because there's a whole lot of early troubles that we only know blips of, because if he's like an amateur boxer, it's not in the paper that this guy is there, so it's very hard. It's just based on, we know that it's records, but it's not. It's very difficult to pinpoint.
Oh, I'm sure.
Early '60s Argentinian criminal records.
Can't
also.
imagine they keep many records
God
around.
damn it, I tried, Jimmy. Let me tell you something. I tried. He did some jail time in his late teens for inciting a soccer riot in a stadium. He apparently started a soccer riot, and there was a soccer riot. And
Terrific.
He's right in the middle of it. If there's a fight, this guy is
He's
there.
throwing blows.
Oh, he's throwing blows. He's enjoying it. He got jail time for participating in a big brawl on a bus at this point, too.
There's nowhere to go.
No, he's just fighting people on buses now. And it's brawls. Everything he's involved in is hardly ever any one-on-one, unless it's with a woman, and it's just brawls, or in the ring.
That's a fear of mine, is fighting in a closed space, because there is nowhere to get out of that.
Don't get on the bus with Carlos Monzon. Let me tell you something.
He will pin you and beat the shit out of you.
He absolutely will. 1958. Wow, think about that. 1958.
Yeah.
That's, wow, what a different time this is. But he meets Zulema Torres in 1958 at age 16, and they have a son.
Wow.
Obviously.
At 16 years old,
Well,
he's having kids.
He's delivering sides of beef and milk, and,
3rd grade
he's doing a lot of
educated.
things here. It's the 50s. He probably had a nice greaser cut.
Yeah.
He's walking around with
Picture him
Olivia Newton-John. He's doing
Some
fine.
chopped up car with
He's doing great.
fucking white walls and black wheels.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Actually, let's 86 the car idea, because he was riding the bus. We know. For
Yeah,
a fact.
that's a good point.
So,
Yeah, the
especially
bus
after
is
being-
probably chopped up with
Oh,
white
yeah,
walls. And
absolutely.
black
he
rims.
probably had it done.
Yeah.
Intentionally. So their son is Carlos Alberto Monzon. You got to name
Oh.
him after yourself, so he can be a criminal.
That
someday.
kid's going to be fucked up.
You want to have that. Now, also at this time, before he gets into boxing, and kind of right when he starts boxing, he was known to also run prostitutes around town and pimp girls.
He was pimping.
He was pimping it. This is like at 18, he's pimping. So this is a very young pimping.
Wow.
He's taking these girls, pimping them around, to the point where he had so much attention from the police that he had to flee to Brazil for a while to let the heat die down.
That's where he started roughing up broads.
He's pimping too much. Yeah. I mean, he has God knows what his father. We're talking the 40s in Argentina, for Christ's sake.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He has no guidance. He has nobody to model his life after.
No.
He's just struggling and hustling to live.
And as we'll find out later on, up until the 80s, it was perfectly fine to beat your wife in Argentina. Like, societally, that was like, well, yeah, you smack your wife around a little bit.
In
like,
fairness, in America it was, too.
That's probably true. But there was lip service to it. Yeah. There, they were just like, of course he beats you up. That means he's, paying attention. Whereas at least here, it was like, now you shouldn't do that, wink, wink. You know what I mean? Like, people were still...
Unless you're a politician and you keep it under wraps. And
yeah. So he comes back to Santa Fe, where he's living now, because he moved there when he was 6 to Santa Fe from San Javier, and begins boxing in what's called, quote, loosely organized backstreet bouts. So that sounds safe.
Yeah.
I mean, these are probably guys...
I'm sure there's a doctor on hand.
Crushed up glass on their gloves and punching each other. This sounds...
Yeah.
I want to watch these fights. This is like bum fights with skill.
Yeah, there's
this.
money being thrown around betting.
It's probably great.
It's a good time.
That's a hell of a
fight. Yeah, that's a hell of a... That's exactly what it is.
It's a human cockfight.
That's a hell of a Friday night.
And then he worked his way kind of through the amateur ranks. Mm-hmm. At this point, when he's done fighting his amateur career, he has 87 amateur fights. This guy fights a lot.
How do you survive?
And when you hear how many pro fights he has, too.
My
this
God.
guy has a lot of mileage on the tires, or the brain in this case.
Yeah.
And, might have a little frontal lobe damage.
A little bit.
A little bit. He has 87 amateur fights. He wins 73 of them. So
it's pretty impressive.
He's pretty decent. Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, a lot of these guys are just bums or whatever. But it's amateur.
Construction
Who the hell knows
shit.
what the equipment was and anything else? He meets Amilcar. His first fight, too, by the way. He won his first fight. His first fight's a draw in 1959. His first amateur fight.
So his first amateur fight, and
draw.
They say even.
Even, draw. Yeah. He had a lot of draws in his career. Draws were more common back then. I think the judges were more apt
strict
to go.
Yeah.
No, I think they were more apt to call the draw, because that's what the fix was, I think.
Oh,
We're talking boxing back then in organized countries, and in America and UK, it was a little shady. A little shady. It's been shady. It's
Forever,
shady now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then it was like, holy shit! It was not shady. It was foggy.
But you've got to have another option other than this boxer or that boxer. It's like that. It's like that green square. There's two green squares on the roulette wheel.
And that's
those
a
are
bet.
the draws.
That's a bet. And maybe that also too. Maybe that pushes and everybody's. I don't know how that works, but we'll see. Gamblers, I have no fucking idea. Don't even correct me, because I don't give a shit either. So moving on. No need to even bother.
You're not getting my money anyway.
Don't care. So he meets Amilcar Brusa at this point, and this is his silver-haired, middle-aged Argentinian man.
This is a man.
This is his man here. He sticks up for him for the rest of his life.
Really?
And beyond, we'll say. Amilcar, Mr. Brusa here would become his trainer. Mm-hmm. He's a boxing trainer, kind of managerish type deal. His father figure, his big brother. This is his guy.
This is the guy that's educated past third grade.
Possibly, at least in boxing he
Right.
was. And when you hear his quotes, he sounds semi-educated too. He sounds like he knows what he's doing. I don't know what the education system was like in Argentina, but whatever.
I'm going to go with not great.
He probably not. He comes to Brusa, maybe this guy went to school through the 5th grade. We'll
Maybe
see.
so, yeah.
Comes to Brusa telling him that someone had just stolen a percentage of his last fight money, the guy who was handling it. And he told Brusa that, I know you don't steal, so I'm coming to you.
Oh,
Basically,
that's nice.
just said, I don't know anything about you except that I hear you're honest.
Right.
I'm good with that.
I trust you.
I have, at least that's going to work for me for now. I just want that. Now, May 11th, 1962, he marries his sweetheart here. This isn't the first girl. They're done. He's got his kid with her.
He's got a child.
He goes through the
divorces or whatever it is.
They were never married. Well, I think they were married because he's married and then partially kind of married to a couple other people. Like, he has a wife later on that they marry in Miami, but then it's never like concreted in Argentina, so it's like gray whether they're really married or not. It's really weird. And he does this a couple times. The Argentinian divorce laws were really, really difficult back, so that was part of it.
It's a very Catholic area, am I right?
Yeah, I don't think divorce, like easy divorce, just civil divorce, was legal until the late 80s. I want to say. So that tells you a lot.
They're very
right
religious.
There. It's a very Catholic country, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's true. I'm pretty sure that's true.
So he meets Beatriz Garza, or Garcia. Beatriz Garcia, her nickname is Pelusa, which means fluff.
Fluff?
Fluff. So I don't know if she's a
How do
little
you spell
chunky.
Pelusa?
Pelusa.
Okay. In Italian, I know, just because I perform with Jesse, Peluso means hairy, and it means fat hairy, I believe.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think that's true.
fluff. Yeah,
right.
Maybe
so
that's
hairy.
It's probably
yeah.
similar thing. These two have quite the volatile relationship.
Awesome.
every relationship he has from now on, let's not even bother to say it's volatile, because it's volatile. Every relationship he has is volatile. This one especially, though, is the one. Boy, this one is a good one. They get into some shit here in a minute. Now we'll get into.
I can't wait to hear it.
They have 3 more kids, obviously, because you got to pump out some kids if you're in a crazy volatile relationship.
It's when you
violence,
fight that fight, that passionate "fuck you, I'm gonna fuck you up" leads to good fucking every time.
Not his passion. His passion usually leads to like some gauze. Maybe some
right after
Neosporin.
That,
maybe after she's all healed up and
she
comes back from the hospital, maybe then they get into
Sorry, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm going to put a baby in you.
Oh, God. So they have 3 kids, Sylvia, Abel, and another Carlos. This one's adopted, though. Half the people in Argentina are named Carlos. I've done from researching this story. By the way, good Christ with the Google Translate. This one was a bitch to dig into. Finding Argentinian newspapers that are like photocopied in. You can't translate those. Those don't get translated.
No.
So I have to find some American, takeoff of that. Some basically an AP article kind of that they picked up from Argentina about some fucking boxer. Wasn't easy, Jimmy. Let me tell you.
I can imagine.
Tough. This is a tough one.
So they're mostly named Carlos.
Everyone's
which
named
is a
Carlos.
huge shocker, obviously.
All named Carlos.
I'm sure I could have guessed. If you would have said name the top name, 3 chances I'm hitting Carlos. I guarantee it.
Correct, and correct on all 3 accounts. Now, he turns pro at age 20 in 1963. Has his first fight February 6th, 1963, in the Club Sportivo Ben-Hur. I don't know why Ben-Hur is in there. Rafaela, Santa Fe, Argentina. I just want to get the whole thing in.
Mouthful.
That's a mouthful. It's in Santa Fe. It's his hometown. It's his hometown little boxing club.
Carlos loves Santa Fe.
He knocks out Ramon Montenegro in the 2nd round.
Wow.
Of his first fight. His nickname is Escopeta, which means shotgun.
Oh.
So he's the shotgun.
I like that word, too.
Yeah, it's a cool Escopeta. That's our peta, whatever. It sounds fucking cool, though. And we'll find out how cool he is later, too, because he was a cool guy for a while, besides his wife beating, which anytime we say this is pretty cool, just take the disclaimer of minus the wife beating and he's an asshole.
Yeah.
We get it. We know. He's a complete scumbag, and we'll get into that also here.
Carlos.
Has his second fight as this is a weird one. March 13th, 1963. He starts fighting once a month now.
Really?
I mean, he is burning them out. He needs money. That's cash. A few bucks here, a few bucks there.
Keeps him from pimping.
When he was a kid fighting in the back street bouts there, they were paying him like 50 pesos a pop, and that was like something. He was excited. This second one's versus Albino Veron, and it's a no contest. Albino, whatever.
Oh, so it's
albino.
That's wild.
Albino. It's albino. It's like albino. No contest on this one. I don't know what happened. I don't know if an alien came down and everybody quit. The electricity went out.
Yeah.
I have no rolling blackout. I don't know what the fuck happened. There is no record of this small time. No video of exactly what happened in this small-time 1963 Argentinian boxing.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Now, August 28th, 1963, this is, 6 months later, not even, 5 months later. This is already his 9th fight now. He's had fights more than once a month.
Wow.
He is 7-0 with the one no contest, which just doesn't count as anything. He's 7-0. He loses a 10-round decision to Antonio Aguilar. This is in Luna Park in Buenos Aires.
So now he's 7-1.
Now he's 7-1, and he will avenge that. He'll fight Aguilar, I believe, 5 times in his career and beat the shit out of him 4 times.
Just because
and
of
lose this one.
Carlos is pissed.
Later on, too, 10 years later, he still says, I was robbed in that fight, and I kicked his ass, and I'd still beat him, and blah, blah, blah. It's a decision. So. Yeah. And back then, if you went to the judges, it's who fucking knows?
It's a crapshoot.
It could be this guy, it could be his uncle. You have no idea what happened. June 28th, 1964, comes in at 11-1. He loses an 8-round decision to a Brazilian named Felipe Cambiero in Rio de Janeiro. Now he's 11-2. So he's not Mike Tyson. No. He's not setting the world aflame coming out the gate here.
7-0. He started pretty solid.
And now he's got because early on they set you up with fights you should win.
That's a good point.
So he should be he should be winning these.
Carlos Monzon gets cupcakes at the beginning.
Yeah. October 9th, 1964, he's coming in at 16-2, so he's got a few more fights. Loses a unanimous 10-round decision to Alberto Massi at the Cordoba Sport Club in Cordoba, and there's another guy he'll fight 4 or 5 times.
Jesus.
You beat him, he's going to fight you until he'll
find you.
He will find you, just fight you every 6 months till you retire. That's it. He's going to beat you every 6 months. Now he's 16-3. Okay, so this is not like I said, setting the world ablaze
Right.
here. Boxing journalist, we're going to hear a lot from him. Carlos Arusta, so I'm just going to say Arusta from now on because we're going to hear a whole shitload of quotes from him. He's another guy that's like, he's a very respected boxing journalist down there, and he followed Monzon from the early days. He's good friends with Amilcar over here, so he's friends with his trainer, so they all know each other. He says of his early career, quote, "He was a very polite guy, but he didn't talk much. He wasn't charismatic. At that stage, Monzon was just another boxer. He didn't give you the impression that he would go on to reach the heights that he did. He's just basically like,
He's just average.
just kind of an average guy." Now, Monzon, on losing, there's a first in their own words of the episode here, in their own words on his opinion on losing anything. He says, quote, "I do not like to ever lose, even when I am playing marbles." So,
oh my goodness.
He's very, very competitive.
Yeah,
even
marbles, for fuck's sake,
playing
man.
marbles or arguing with a woman, anything like that. He doesn't want to lose shit. So from 1964 on, he will never lose another fight.
Really?
This is it. Never going to lose another fight.
He just figured out, I'm going to treat boxing like marbles. I'm losing.
Not losing. He has 9 draws over the thing, but that's fine. Draws happen all the time, but no losses. He avenges all losses. Like I said, he fights Masi 5 times. So he's just going to hunt your ass down.
Comes back to Aguilar a bunch.
Absolutely. He
wins every one of them.
He wins everyone unless it's a draw,
right.
which is fine. Draws happen. Right. But, I mean, his style is so weird because he's not a guy like Tyson or like, a Hagler or a Hearns where
he's got a power punch.
Like, oh, shit, he's nasty. You got to watch out for this. Or he's super quick. Watch out for that. Or, like, he'll take your head off with the hook. Or he's none of that. He's just like, he's not the fastest guy, not the biggest guy, not the hardest hitter. He doesn't do anything.
He just wears you out?
Doesn't do anything particularly well, but doesn't do anything particularly badly either. He's just this balanced fighter that basically wills you to beating you. That's it. It's his will. It's all will. You can see in his fights too. I watched a bunch of them. He just enforces his will, and he's a lanky guy too.
Okay.
There's been conflicting reports here, and it's from newspapers too. Yeah. Some say he's 6'1.5", and some say he's 5'11.5". He's a middleweight fighting at 160, so if he's 6'1.5", that's a long, lanky middleweight, which is good. 5'11.5" is still pretty decent, but he's got
probably about 6 foot.
He's got a real good reach on him, and he's got a nasty right hand also. But it's
still pretty big.
It's still pretty big. He's not toned. He's not like a ripped guy. Yeah. He's just kind of this guy. It's really weird. He's like a long kind of
he's like a bricklayer.
Kind of weird. Like he's like taffy. It's a weird guy, man. So 1965, he's convicted of assault at this point for another brawl that happens. We don't have sketchy details. He serves, I think, a month in jail or something over it. Just as
clearly at fault.
Random assault, and we're buying that completely.
Yeah.
Now, September 3rd, 1966, in Estadida Luna Park, again in Buenos Aires, comes in at 29, 3-6. So he beats Jorge Fernandez in a unanimous 12-round decision for the Argentina middleweight title.
All right.
Now he's on his way.
Now he's a champ.
Still nobody knows who the hell he is.
Right.
It's not a world title.
But he's got himself a title.
He's on his way. Now, Bert Sugar wrote of him. Bert Sugar, if you guys don't know, is a famous boxing... He's an old-time boxing journalist. He wears like the kind of fedora hat. You see him, he goes, it looks like he should have a cigar in his mouth.
A square top hat with like a wide brim.
He knows his body. He's an old boxer. You look at him and go, oh, he hangs out next to boxing rings. And, he knows what the spit bucket smells like really well.
Oh, Jesus.
He says, quote, Carlos Monzon was hardly the off-the-rack.
Smells what this?
He knows, man. It smells. If you've never smelled, you know if you smelled it.
A spit. You don't know what the fuck is spit bucket.
It's bad if you've ever been in not good.
Okay,
it's funky, man.
It's got blood in it and shit.
It's gross, dude. And it just sits and festers, and nobody empties it all
for 12 rounds. People
12 rounds. Do that shit for 2 weeks. Spit bucket's getting half full. You might want to empty it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen some nasty shit. So, continuing here, Carlos Monzon was hardly the off-the-rack pug with a nose you could hang your hat on. Instead, he had the reserved looks of a matinee idol, one with delicately marked brows, an unmarked face, and a remarkable body that could serve as a model for Hollywood beefcake pictures. And he fought the same way, with a coolness that could no more be melted than ice welded. His style crosses between aggressive caution and cautious aggression, with a long right hand thrown in for good measure.
That is beautifully homosexual.
He said everything except with a long cock thrown in for good measure. The long right was like with a long cock thrown in, with a beautiful veiny cock thrown in for good measure.
Beautiful, throbbing, veiny. an unbelievable specimen of a
That
cop.
was a love letter.
Yeah.
That's a love letter of a man.
He's such a great writer, though.
Oh, he's a great writer.
That's so eloquent.
It is.
But it comes off so fucking gay.
It's like it's a
He's
gay
attracted to
penthouse
him.
letter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
he
yeah,
loves
yeah.
him to death, man.
It's a gay Craigslist misconnections. That was incredibly well written, though.
It really was. That's impressive for like that sort of. Normally, when it's some sort of. This is any sexuality, just love letter of any kind, when there's clearly lust in his heart.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't imagine he'd be so eloquent when clearly you know what he wants. You know what he's after, Jimmy.
He just refuses to say it because in the 50s, that shit was looked down upon.
Absolutely.
In Catholic fucking...
Jesus Christ.
Okay, go.
June 10th, 1967. We're back to Luna Park, Buenos Aires. Comes in at 43-7. So 40 wins, 3 losses,
with
7
a
draws.
bulbous ass.
With a big old swollen ass from Burt Sugar doing God knows what to it. He beats old Jorge Fernandez again here in a 12-round unanimous decision for the South American middleweight title. Right. So now it's a continent. Yeah. Started with a country, now he's moving on to a continent.
Now he's got the whole damn thing.
Things are going well. They're going fine. Christmas 1967 comes around. So things are going so well. He's at a nice family party there, and there's a photographer at the family party named Daniel Moreno. And Carlos does not like this young man, Moreno. First, earlier in the night, he slaps him around a little bit.
Holy shit.
Gives him a little paintbrushing, Dave Meggett style. And then later on, he punches him also in the night. He punches this guy.
Just for nothing?
Whatever the reason was, taking his picture. He has a real history with paparazzi. There's it's one of those things where I'm going to say, he gets arrested 3-4 times for hospitalizing paparazzi.
Wow.
Nothing ever comes of those a lot. They're settled out of court.
Gotcha.
He makes it go away. But this guy, he's arrested. This guy's pressing charges, and he will stand at a family gathering. He'll stand trial for assault. He's going to have to stand trial for assault.
A Spanish white trash guy,
and he sues him civilly and wins that too.
Wow! So he was clearly at fault.
He's at fault.
He's
a professional fighter, beating up a photographer at a family Christmas party. Probably knocked the eggnog out of his hand, smacked it out of his hand, and started punching the shit out of him.
In one of those moose cups.
Yeah, you know he did, and then he knocked him out, and the moose cup went flying. One of his ears broke off. Can't hold it by that anymore.
Hell yeah.
Can't hold hot liquids in it now because you have to hold it by the cup. So we get to 1970, and things are going well for Carlos, continuing to kick ass in the ring, and he gets to be a number 10 contender, which brings him up for a title fight. So now he gets a title fight. He's going to be fighting Nino Benvenuti, which is the most Italian man I've ever heard of in my life.
Nino.
He might as well have a Mario mustache and an organ grinder and a fucking monkey jumping around, because that's the most ridiculous fucking Italian name ever. My name's Petrogallo.
Yeah.
So he's going to fight him in Rome for the title. No one gives Monzon a chance here at all.
Really?
Oh, no. Benvenuti heavily favored. No one knows who the fuck Monzon is.
And he's a fucking continental champ already.
But no one cares about that. He's not. The rap on him is he's fighting a bunch of no-names in his hometown. So who gives a shit? He's fighting a bunch of bums. This is the world champ.
Nino's the world champ.
He's the undisputed world champ, too. WBC, WBA. And The Ring had a belt back then. The Ring, which is a magazine.
He fucking matters.
He matters very much, Benvenuti, actually.
Benvenuti is Rocky, for lack of a better...
Yeah.
He's the shit.
Yeah, he's back then, yes. He's considered a terrific champion. He's probably going to knock the shit out of... and even in Argentina, there was large billboards of Benvenuti everywhere, because boxing's huge down there. There was then, anyway. Yeah. So he's in movies.
They're putting up billboards in his hometown talking about, this guy's going to come knock the shit out of Monzon.
Monzon's going there. This guy was just
Monzon's going to leave your town and come up here and get his ass kicked by this guy. And then we're going to put billboards all over your town.
So, so he's going to the fight in Rome. Now,
that would be intimidating as fuck.
Yeah, going to Rome to fight the champ? Yeah, that'd be weird.
You leave your house to go run, to train for this fight, and you're running past billboards of this fucking guy that everybody thinks is going to take your head off.
And not to mention, when you look at his fights, they're like 90% in his hometown.
Really?
They're like 90% always like Buenos Aires, which is like 200 miles away. They're always like... home. Like he doesn't really...
So he takes a big slug of raw eggs and goes jogging and staring at this fuck's face.
Looking at old Benvenuti. So Carlos Arusta says at this point, they have a big gathering before he leaves to go overseas. It's the whole community, basically, the boxing, Argentinian boxing community. And Arusta says, quote, "It was a more romantic time. We, the boxing community, all got together to give Monzon a farewell dinner in Luna Park. Carlos could walk along Corrientes Street in a suit and nobody would recognize him. All eyes were on Benvenuti. I got the feeling that the average spectator was thinking, who is this guy Monzon who's going to go fight the champ? So nobody knew who the fuck he was.
Good for him,
he
though.
doesn't, but he's got balls and he's going to do it. Now, during the weigh-in, Monzon claims that Benvenuti, quote, touched his ass.
Nice.
He claims he touched his ass during the weigh-in, and he is fucking furious. Back then in South America...
He's furious at that, but he took that article and those words and was like, that's fine.
I assume maybe he couldn't read English and he didn't know what Bert Sugar said about him. He probably can't read anything. He dropped out in the 3rd grade. Right. That's the other thing, too.
But he can read homosexual come-on lines like grabbing your ass.
He reads body languages, and I think he touched my ass. By the way, no word on whether he actually did touch his ass or whether he was using this as some kind of...
sick motivation.
Jack himself up or whatever. So finally get to and he is fucking livid. I mean, he's like, I am going to kill this man. I have a good in their own words about it, where he's literally like, I want to kill this man.
Good thing you didn't sack tap him.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. So November 7th, 1970, the night of the big fight. It's in Palazzo dello Sport in Rome. It sounds nice. He comes in at 67, 3-9. So he fights Nino Benvenuti for the WBA, WBC, and the ring middleweight titles, scheduled for 15 rounds. In the 12th round, Monzon takes over. And if you watch the 12th round of this fight, it's on YouTube. You can check it out. He takes over, and by the end of the round, the shot he drops him with is it's a left-right combo, and this right is just... It's one of these where
pretty filthy, huh?
It's one of these where it's a straight right hand, hits him clean on the jaw, head snaps, dude's legs come out, he drops like a ton of shit.
Fantastic.
It's a good punch, and it's in the corner. It's in his own corner, too.
Ouch.
In Benvenuti's corner.
At least he doesn't have to go very far.
No, he gets up around 8 somehow, and if you saw this punch and the way he went down, that ref didn't give a shit when he got up. He's calling that fight. When a guy gets knocked down like that, there's no way he's fine after 10 seconds. He was done. And so he and his corner rushes in too. But it's funny, you can't tell. Some Italian guy runs in from the corner and gets like in the ref's way, like as he's waving it off, and he's got a look on his face like, no, he's fine. What are you doing? Like, you can picture him going, hey, what the fuck are you doing? No, he's fine. Get out of here. No, don't worry about it. Like he's trying to just shoo the ref off. Like that's going to make it all stop. And Benvenuti's going to be all right and we're going to continue. Like you see him coming in like, no, like pushing the ref back. And the ref's like, no, asshole, it's over.
The fight's over. He's like, no, this is my cousin. He'll be all right.
It's ridiculous.
You've never seen him take a punch before. He
he's fine. Don't worry about it.
Take it way worse than that.
So now Monzon, in their own words, on the Benvenuti ass-grabbing incident and how it affected him, in their own words, quote, I looked at him and I thought, tonight I will kill you. When the referee stopped the fight, he was correct. That night I would have killed Benvenuti.
Wow.
So he was out for blood. Yeah. You don't touch his ass.
I will make your heart stop.
Mister.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. That was...
You touch my beehole, we got a problem.
Don't you dare. So Irusta said of the fight in Buenos Aires, quote, Buenos Aires stopped to watch. The next day everyone was talking about Monzon. If he'd lost, it would have been just another fight. So, I mean, he turned into a hero here. And even later on, in the late 80s, I got a quote here from Mike Tyson about Carlos Monzon.
Mike Tyson was very well aware of him.
Which is great. Customato, Mike Tyson's trainer, was a very big... an old school guy, and he made Tyson watch films.
Oh, fantastic.
Everybody good.
I love it.
Monzon's a nasty fighter. And Tyson said, quote, I always loved Carlos Monzon. He was a tough guy, for real. A guy from the streets. He didn't talk much. He didn't need to. The ring belonged to him.
Minus all the lisps. That was
Minus
good.
the lisps. Yeah, I'm not going to do a Tyson. But that's if you got Mike Tyson's respect, as you come from a dump and you're a tough guy, you're tough and you come from a dump. Because Tyson doesn't play that shit. I love it.
And hit women.
And hit women. Yeah, Tyson's an amateur.
Yeah.
There's these lists too of like, top 15 worst domestic violence people, and it's got like Tyson in this one. And I'm like, no. Robin Givens is fine.
Yeah.
She got beat up. Yeah, that's terrible. Right. But some of these people are dead. That's worse. OJ can't be 3.
No.
That doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. The one had Tyson 1 and OJ 3, and it's like, she doesn't have a head.
That doesn't count. No.
She doesn't have a fucking head. Robin Givens can still do movies if anybody wanted her. I haven't
seen her in 20 years. If you want to hear about the night she got beat up, she's still there to tell you.
She'll tell you all about it.
All about it. She'll sing.
So May 8th, 1971, he has a rematch with Benvenuti in Monte Carlo. It's a 15-round scheduled fight here. He comes in at 71, 3-9 to this bad boy. beats old Benvenuti at 1 minute and 5 seconds in the third round with a TKO. It's called semi-controversial, but he was beating the shit. Yeah. That fight, whether it was then or in the fourth round,
still harboring
the fight was over.
He's still harboring that ass grab.
Yeah, he's still, he doesn't say anything about it.
He's not happy.
And we have it in their own words about becoming champion, because he beat the champ, and then this was the rematch. So once you beat him again, then all right, you're the champ. It's
solidified.
Now. Yeah, he wasn't a lucky shot.
Right.
It was you are the champ.
He did it twice.
Even more convincing.
Even more so in the third round.
So Monzon says about this, quote, "When I became a champion, I was 28. I was not a boy. It was a big change for me because I started to get big money. I could buy the biggest car. I learned to take care of my clothes. To become middleweight champion of the world is very important in any part of the globe, including my country. I know Argentinians were proud of me."
28 years old.
28.
And he's on top of the world.
He's on top of the world at this point.
That's amazing.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the mountaintop here. This is his pinnacle. This is his peak. He's going to be really decadent after this, but this is like professionally and everything when he has his shitmost together.
Yeah.
Things are going well right now. And this is for a very short amount of time because on August 18th, 1971, short time later, Carlos is arrested for his part in a brawl in a pizzeria.
Fantastic.
Of course. He was at a pizzeria with a bunch of his friends, and there was a brawl. He spends the night in jail. He's released the next morning when police determined that he was only trying to mediate the fight between all of his friends at another table.
Right. He's like, "Stop, guys, stop."
He's the best fighter of all his friends.
Yeah.
And
he's going to be the one that's the ref?
Come on, guys. Him, of all people. Right. Mr. I don't like to lose in marbles.
Right.
And he beats the shit out of anyone he comes across, soccer riots and bus brawls.
Somebody accidentally grazes his ass in that brawl. Somebody's going to die.
They're going to die
yeah.
for it. So he ends up, it's total bullshit. If there's a fight, he's in it. You know what I mean? And the pizza, everybody there, all the witnesses said he didn't participate in the fight because he's the champ. He's the champ. He's the hero of the country. He's the biggest sports hero in Argentina right now.
Those words right there are why he was the mediator.
They worship him.
That's why he got labeled mediator. Because there's no way he didn't throw a punch.
No, he probably settled the fight.
Absolutely.
He came in, threw one or two punches, and everyone went, "Oh shit," and stepped back.
That's the mediation that he did. He was like, "Pop, pop," and they're like, "Let's stop fighting."
Because a boxer, I don't know if people know, like a boxer, if you take them and put them in a fight with a normal person,
oh Jesus,
it's not a fight.
No.
It's not even a thing. It's like taking
a
man and putting him in a ring with a child and letting him beat the shit out of him for a while. It's ridiculous. So, as we're going to see later on, when a guy who thought he was a boxer tried to play around with him, a very famous guy who thinks he's a boxer. You guys can think about who that is for a minute. Movie star that thinks he's a boxer. Keep thinking. Nominated for an Oscar a couple of years ago. Bet you know who I'm talking about. We'll get into that because it's a great story.
Really?
It's fantastic.
All right.
This complete idiot. So that's fine. That all goes away. They let him go. So September 30th, a month later, he's arrested for after an auto accident where he hit a man on a bicycle.
His big flash car.
He hit a guy on a bicycle with a Mercedes.
Yeah.
There's another time he got arrested for hitting a bus with his Mercedes. But he hits this guy on a bicycle. No one's seriously injured. He's not that badly injured. They keep him for a day. In Argentina, anytime a car hits any kind of pedestrian type thing, they hold the person until the investigation
that hits somebody that's not in a car.
Yeah, they arrest you until they do an investigation.
Gotcha.
Like, you're under arrest just in case you did something wrong.
Right.
We're going to check it out, though. So they let him go a day later.
They should do that shit in America.
And
that's brilliant.
And this guy's a hardcore, as we're going to find out in a minute. Hardcore alcoholic also.
Awesome.
He's probably drunk or whatever, but they're not going to get the They went to the guy on the bike. You know who this fucking guy is? He's the hero. You see that billboard?
Right.
That's him.
Right.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Where's
your
hurt?
billboard?
You hurt that bad? No? Then shut the fuck up and get on your messed up bike. Put your chain back on and pedal away,
Here's
asshole.
a couple of bucks. Go buy a new tire.
Tell your story pedaling, fucker. Get out of here. So he's released then. 1972, the year starts out great for him as the Ring magazine names Ali and Monzon co-fighters of the year.
Wow.
So it's fighters of the year,
He's
Ali
honored
and Monzon.
with Muhammad Ali.
Well, Boxing Illustrated names Monzon the fighter of the year solo, no Ali.
Wow.
Boxing Writers Association of America names Monzon fighter of the year.
Wow.
Back then, too, you still had some people who were pissed off at Ali about the whole
about the war
Muslim
thing,
thing
yeah.
and the war thing and all that shit. So voting might be sketchy, but
Might
still,
be a little skewed.
he's still, maybe besides Muhammad Ali, who's Muhammad Ali,
Right.
he's the best fighter in the world at this point.
Wow.
Overall. Angelo Dundee, who is Muhammad Ali's longtime trainer and everything, said of Monzon, quote, "Monzon is the complete fighter. He can box, he can hit, he can think, and he is game all the way."
That's your warning, ladies.
That's your guys. That should be on his singles ad. Yeah. If he had a singles ad, it would be, "Now he's the complete fighter. Watch out. He won't even lose at marbles. He can hit, he can box too."
He loves walks on the beach and punching your stupid fucking wrong face.
And he's game all the way. Oh, man. So
you are wrong no matter what happens.
No matter what happens. He becomes a movie star at this point. Starts being in movies. He's the most famous guy in the country, so they put him in movies. He's the most famous athlete there is, so now you're a movie star. Fuck it, they put him in movies. Brusa said of him, old Amilcar Brusa, said, when Carlitos made the movie El Macho, which is a great title.
Fuck yeah.
El Macho.
El Macho.
Women went crazy. They threw themselves at him. The actress Ursula Andress came from Hollywood to look for him. I told him to forget about girls while he was in the ring, and he understood.
They threw themselves at him, and he threw punches to bat him down.
And he threw punches to bat him down. And this isn't alleged, because I have a quote from him later.
This is alleged bullshit.
This is not alleged bullshit. I have a quote from him later that is the most eye-popping quote we've ever put. And you've heard, if you've listened to all our episodes, there's been some quotes that are,
slight death in the family.
Slight death in the family.
This is alleged bullshit.
They can somehow rationalize their way out of murder quickly. What he says, you're going to go, holy shit that a man said that, not only in public, but in a court of law, on the record with a person typing it. Guy typing it, people watching. He said what he said later. It's amazing. So November 2nd, 1972, there's a decision to appeal. There's a decision in the appeal. The 1967 photographer beating is coming back because that's still been kicked around.
Holiday party.
Yeah, the decision comes back. Monzon says he doesn't even remember the incident at this point. Yeah. The court upholds the lower court's decision that Monzon is going to stand trial for this.
Wow. He's like, you know how many people I've hit since then?
Good God, I don't remember that guy.
I don't remember his stupid face.
Plus, he was hammered.
Right.
Now, on the case, in their own words, Monzon says, quote, both parties agreed to an arrangement under which the photographer withdrew the complaint. I'm surprised over the way this has come up after such a long time and just before my fight with Briscoe. He's got an upcoming fight, and he's like, this is an inconvenient time that you're bringing this up. He's trying to say that they're fucking with him.
So they dismiss it on grounds of they came to an agreement.
But
I imagine the agreement is, I will punch your face if you don't withdraw
all
this.
There was a civil decision, and Monzon paid him a bunch of money, and then they kept going with the criminal charge. There was no agreement to do shit. I mean, it was according to the other guy. Absolutely. So this is just a bit of Monzon that's great. He's a character, and we'll start to get into now a little bit of that character. He's a heavy, heavy, heavy smoker, okay? Heavy cigarette smoker. This is a guy that goes 15 rounds on the regular.
Smoking like crazy.
Up to 5 packs a day. 5.
Holy
That's 100 cigarettes. 100.
That's drinking. That's smoking
constantly.
You're inhaling more smoke than oxygen at that point.
It's constant. You have to you light them off of each other at that point. And they
5 packs. James,
5
how
packs.
many? You smoke. I have smoked.
Not nearly that.
For 15 years, I smoked.
Good God.
I can't.
No.
I know I've gone through 2 packs in one day and been
Not
like,
5.
How the fuck did I do that?
And you don't feel good.
5? Yeah.
5?
I wake up in the morning and it was terrible.
He gets in the ring. Now, in his defense, when he was in training for a fight, he would cut down to 2 or 3 packs a day.
That's insanity.
And you just get in there. But I guess if you did that always, it would just probably, it's like the old thing when if you lift a cow every day from the time it's a calf, you'll always be, it's that shit, that old fucking.
That's crazy,
that sort of thing.
So many cigarettes.
He just kept smoking and kept fighting, so
That's
he was
half
fine.
a carton a day.
He's like when he's not in training, he's a lazy fuck. He's a decadent guy. He likes to live large and do things with pretty models.
To drive big cars.
Likes to hit pretty
girls,
women
hit pretty women, and smoke cigarettes.
And he's known for his incredible stamina. That's the funny part.
His breath is disgusting.
There's it's going to be terrible. There's an author, George Diaz Smith, that said of him, quote, a guy like Ricardo Mayorga would be a novice compared to the likes of the iron-lunged Monzon.
Iron-lunged because he's going to be in one.
For all of the years that I'd seen him, Monzon never gasped for air, tired, or opened his mouth gagging for oxygen in any round.
He just superhuman fucking lungs.
I don't know what it is. Maybe he's like an Argentinian Sherpa. He just doesn't care.
He got a filter in his throat?
It's incredible. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's not inhaling. Maybe he's just hanging it out of his mouth.
He just likes it like an incense.
This is This is great. This is just joyous to bring you this story here. February 28th, 1973. Monzon has a big fight with his wife, okay? The neighbors hear the arguing, and it's a common thing. He beats the shit out of this girl all the time. There's a bunch of arrests. I know of a few of them, and I'll get to them, the documented ones, but there's a bunch in between that are just like, he got arrested, then they kicked him back thing, and it wasn't in the paper, and it was a real kind of underneath thing. So
just shady on the low and get him in and out.
They fight a lot. This woman has a large selection of sunglasses to wear when she goes out of the house, we'll put it that way.
And this is the one that he has 3 kids with?
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is his wife that he has 3 kids with. It's in a big fight. There's arguing. Monzon ends up in the driveway screaming for help and bleeding from 2 gunshot wounds.
Oh, my God. She's had enough.
That's the culmination of this argument. Now, he's shot in the right forearm and right shoulder blade. Guys, if you look this up, I don't know if anybody looks shit up as they go along. There's a lot of articles out there and a lot of fucking pieces and a lot of things that are reblogged and everything else that say he was shot in the leg and the shoulder. He was not shot in the fucking leg. He shot in the right forearm and the shoulder blade. Trust me. Just trust me, because I looked at that shit for 2 hours to figure out what was correct, because I wasn't going to say the wrong place he was shot.
She was really aiming for him.
She was pissed.
She was trying to kill him.
She was pissed. Now, the stories that go along with it are even better. He claims that he was cleaning his .32 caliber gun and it went off. Twice, apparently. Bang! Oh, shit, one more in there.
Oh, my God.
I had 2 in the chamber. Didn't realize it, so that's ridiculous.
And shot in the back.
And in the back. Oh, shit, I shot myself in the back. And in the same forearm that I shot myself.
I like to clean it behind my back.
Yeah, and he's a righty, by the way.
I like to show how impressive I am.
I like to really do it. I blindfold myself. I time myself like a Marine. So when police talked to his wife, she said that she was holding it and it accidentally went off.
I was cleaning it, not him.
Twice. Right. Again, twice.
2 in the chamber.
No, the next 2 in the chamber, baby. No, the next day...
It's like they don't know how guns work.
They don't know how guns. They're just like they're stupid. Don't worry about it. Like, and no one, and it's all fine too. That's the thing.
And the cops who carry guns, they're like, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and the next day, the wife changes her story because, like, well, we have to have a consistent story. I'm sure. And the next day, the wife changes her story and says, "Oh yeah, no, he was cleaning the gun and shot himself twice, once in the back." Insanity, man.
That's such a great story.
It's a terrific story.
It's even better that people bought it.
What a crazy relationship, right? So police take the gun with them and all that. He's taken to San Miguel Hospital. The bullet they get, the one I think was a through and through on his forearm. Yeah. But the one in his back, they never got out.
So he lived. Stayed in.
He fought the rest of his career because he's not done. He's the champ still. Yeah. He's shot. So
with a slug in his back.
He's going to fight with a slug in his back for the rest of the duration here. The relation, this little bit of, strain, obviously, here. We have a good quote from Arusta about him, because this is when he starts kind of getting out of control and really going off the deep end and meets a woman that we'll talk about in a second. And it's a little crazy here. So this is Arusta's quote on him. He said, quote, "He drank a lot. And you could say that he was a violent drunk. I believe that when he was unable to express himself with words, he would respond with violence. The difference in the ring is that it was all work. He analyzed all his aggression. He had an extraordinary coldness in the ring and out of the ring too, because he just beats women's asses.
Except for when dudes touch his beehole.
Oh boy, yeah, he can't be touching.
He can remember that in a second.
Yeah. So he does some 74. He does a movie called La Mary, and this is a big deal, I guess, in Argentina. It's with an actress named Susana Jimenez, and they begin a public affair after filming. Now, this is in the same year. This is a year after he got shot by his wife, so clearly she didn't get her fucking point across.
No.
Because he is going out, now he's still married, and they're taking like pictures of them in public because they're 2 huge celebrities, and they're together.
And it's a public... Dude...
They're going all over South America, they go to
a public
overseas.
Affair... And you're doing that in the face of a woman who that every time you bend over, you feel the skin grind against that slug in your back.
She's no joke.
And you still are willing to go fuck another woman?
This guy's got a sack on him.
Stones, bro.
Stones, man. Holy stones. Shit. Man, this is the beginning of like his decadent lifestyle, where he really starts publicly... He's just very fancily clothed in fancy cars, and he only hangs out in the best places. And
After being shot twice.
Wears all different Rolexes and shit like that. Now, this girl here, Jimenez, encourages him to quit boxing. She does not want him to box. What? She doesn't like him boxing. She thinks it's whatever. This is his career and why he's famous, and probably would
Don't
like him.
Don't you know why I have all these watches?
Yeah, don't you get it? Don't you understand why I have a slug in my back and I don't
job.
care? I have to go out and beat people up.
Yeah.
I can go into any pizzeria in this country, beat the shit out of whoever I want, and no one will tell on me.
Do you know why?
I'm above the law.
Because I fight. Because they expect me to do that.
Because they know what I'm capable of in the ring.
Unbelievable.
Now, this relationship put a strain between Monzon and Arusta and Brusa in his inner boxing circle because he was distracted and he's out partying and he's being a playboy and he's talking about, she doesn't want me to box. And they're like, dude, he's like, she's Yoko Onoing the whole thing here.
Yeah,
it's not working. She's totally fucking the whole deal up here. He also beat the shit out of her on a regular basis, this woman.
That's why she wants him to stop.
Is known for literally wearing larger and larger sunglasses as time goes on. Like situations where they don't belong and shit. And they're like, yeah, that's covering something up because he was quite the violent one here. Now, December 19th, 1974, he's arrested for assault in Santa Fe, in his hometown. It's a 33-year-old carpenter named Carlos Lozano. Or Lescano. He says that Carlos punched him, Monzon, they're all named Carlos. It's very confusing. Lescano says that Monzon punched him in the mouth during an argument over the price of a car. Monzon owned car dealerships. And
this guy came to buy a car?
He's haggling with him.
And he blasts him.
And he punches him. That's one way to negotiate.
Yeah.
And now the thing I really want to see now is Johnny Canine and Monzon's Ion Kraitoru and Monzon's auto sales. Imagine Johnny Canine walking up being like, hey, you're getting that Jeep. Yeah, get that top off. Take your shirt off. What are you, some kind of pussy? Who cares? Get in there. And you're like, I don't think so. And then Monzon blasts you in the mouth.
Buy it.
Buy it. Pow. And he knocks you in the mouth.
Unbelievable.
Holy shit. So he's a crazy person, obviously. This is what I mean. Who punches someone?
This is your car.
People, you've bought and sold cars out there, everybody, right?
A million times.
Have you ever punched someone during that transaction? Ever?
I've gotten to a point where I was like, no, I will not pay that. Or, no, you will pay this. Whatever I'm doing, buying or selling. But it has never crossed. When I walked away, I've said a million times, I'd love to just hit that guy in the fucking mouth.
Now,
and this guy just does it.
Let's say this. If he beats up his wife, at least... Not saying it's okay, but they're connected to each other. Like, he might think, well, shit, I have to come back the next day and see her again, and it's like this ongoing thing, and, people get these weird... walk away. Yeah. There's other car dealerships, there's other cars. You're not obligated to have this transaction at all. At all. I mean, you can just walk away.
Your livelihood doesn't rest on this.
You can say, this is how much it is. I don't want to pay that. All right, see you later. And walk away. You don't have to punch the guy in the mouth for insulting your... So it's 1974. Here's the WBC, which is one of the licensing bodies for his titles here. Right. Takes away his title for not defending it enough in a timely fashion.
Oh, all right. He's just enjoying it.
He's doing the bare minimum. Yeah. At this point, he slows down a lot because he's making more money. So he's like, I'm going to make big money from this fight and then go make 2 movies and then go fuck some models. Right. And then I'll go fight again later.
Why would I box if I can just live the life?
Exactly. This is why boxers' kids don't box. Right. Even if you have the money and you know how to box, you're like, I don't feel like it.
I don't want to do that.
Nah. Look at Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. Yeah. I got it all. What am I going to do? So the WBA still considered Monzon champ, but the WBC gives their belt to Rodrigo Valdez of Colombia. And so he's going to have to fight Rodrigo to unify here, and that's going to come up soon. During this time, Arusta says of Monzon, quote, Monzon was always Monzon, living in the fast lane, attending parties, driving a Mercedes, always the center of attention in magazines and on television programs. So now he is the celebrity, obviously, even more now, like these movie stars.
Embracing and enjoying.
October 27th, 1974, he's arrested for beating his wife. Shocker. Yeah. She doesn't shoot him this time, so he's arrested. That's normal.
It's her time.
On October 29th, 2 days later, 1974, and by the way, after he's arrested for beating his wife, he's put on house arrest while it's all going on.
Holy shit.
So he's not allowed to leave his house. So he's stuck in his house while an article that reads, quote, Monzon marked for death is the title of the article. And this is some serious shit here. This is an Argentinian right-wing political group, extremist group that wants to take over the government. And back then, they were having coups all over South America. This was no joke. Called, quote, AAA, they were called, which I don't think they know what that means. Or they might, we're almost decent.
Yeah.
Hey, we almost made it. We're almost there. Like, that's not a good way to do it. AAA is
we're the group that
not quite major leagues.
We're going to overturn your government and kill your sports superstar. Or when you have a flat, we'll come fix your tire.
We'll come fix you. Either one. We got you covered. This is right-wing opposition.
Get you great discounts on fucking hotels.
We can do it for you.
Yeah.
We have it all covered. They say they're wanting to clean up the morals in showbiz and in the country in general.
And they want him dead.
So, well, there's reasons here, and they do this with a lot of people. They put together 2 death lists, they're called.
Meanwhile, he is arrested. He's on house arrest for an
He's stuck in
incident
his house.
involving the woman that he's stuck in his house with.
Yes, absolutely.
A woman that tried to kill him, tried to shoot him twice. And they're like, you need to put this bracelet on, take your ass back home.
Well, and the bad part is this death list is saying that all the people on these lists have 72 hours to leave Argentina or be killed.
Wow.
That's their
And they
proclamation.
know exactly where he is.
And he's stuck in the house.
He can't leave.
This is probably a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah. He's marked for death, all right, by this group and his fucking wife.
And his wife shot him twice.
So you two,
a
it's
lot
a
of people
race
want
to get him.
Ben Venuti wants to grab his ass. God knows what Burt Sugar wants to do to him. Holy shit. Wow, that's probably
a
really
lot of
gross.
people got some interest in this man.
He's got 2 silver-haired, middle-aged Argentinian men taking care of him, and good Lord. This first list was 8 government officials.
Oh, shit.
And these are like, senators and shit like that.
Yeah.
The second list was movie stars and things like that. And it included Monzon and his girlfriend, Jimenez. And it was because their kissing scenes in La Mary were just too much.
Yeah.
They were too
obviously
graphic.
enjoying it. Yeah.
Too graphic for them.
Yeah.
They're not into that. He's on house arrest.
It was too straight for us.
It's a little too straight for us. We're going to see what Burt Sugar puts together next time. So with Jimenez, they travel all over the world together, like high-profile trip to Italy, where they film a movie over there together, and they're in Rome. They have a big brawl in a hotel also that's like a highly publicized thing, and then she's wearing sunglasses for the next week. It's classic insanity, man. We're laughing at this, but we're not laughing at... We're laughing at what a fucking idiot this guy is.
He's such
and
white
doesn't
trash.
Get it. He'll get his, though. He'll get his. We promise. Yeah, he's indigenous Argentinian trash. He's a piece of garbage, man. He makes 9 films total in the 70s, and there's a couple more. We'll bring them up as they come up here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he did well. And then a couple in Italy, one in Argentina, one in France. So he was like a world-renowned celebrity.
I'm out driving all night to get to 2 shows to write dick jokes and say them into a microphone and hopefully get into something later. And this guy's got 9 movies already.
Yeah, and he's beaten, high-level movie stars at this point, too. Not even some girl he found in a favela. This is like a high-level movie star.
You don't see me telling dick jokes, getting off stage and punching Kate Moss in the face.
Kate Moss?
Or, I don't know. I just pulled the name. I don't know.
Wow, that's a... I don't think she's an actress.
I don't think she is either.
I don't think I've seen her in
just
20
a model.
years. Did she die of a heroin overdose in like 97 probably? I have no idea.
I'm not punching Goldie Hawn in the mouth.
Oh, God, Jesus. There you go.
There's one that's relevant.
At least she's in movies. I don't think she's been in one in 20 years, but she was in movies. We'll work up. Guys, send in your current movie stars for Jimmy, because he doesn't know anything.
I clearly don't see me. Katherine Heigl, I'm getting there. I
even think she's fallen off. That's been my 10 years. Jesus Christ. Wow. I don't know you any better, so I'm going to just leave you hanging in the wind and go, God, Jimmy, you don't know anything.
Jesus, Jimmy,
I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help you.
I'm getting a 3rd grade education on movie stars.
That's perfect. At least you can read. I'm not kidding, probably. During this time period, he injured several paparazzi during the time, because there was a lot of paparazzi around, and he would be like, injure a guy, put him in the hospital, get arrested, get bailed out, go in other countries and everything. He's like the Sean Penn of his time.
I get that, though. I wish that was legal.
Punching paparazzi?
Yeah, just some dude pops out of a bush and just starts taking a picture. You don't know what that guy's there for.
Not at all.
Ben Affleck and his wife tried to pass legislation to get rid of him. Around their children and stuff. I wish it would have worked, because those people deserve to get blasted in the mouth. Go fuck yourself with you're selling my picture for $10,000. Fuck you.
They are scum. They are
you deserve
scum.
to get punched.
Do you ever see how Seinfeld handles them? Jerry Seinfeld handles it.
How does he do it?
He handles it beautifully.
How does he do it?
Where they actually feel bad for like invade. Like I saw in one, they like they were taking pictures of him, and he had a parking ticket, and the guy was like, I'll take care of it for you, and he's like, all right, because he let him take a couple of pictures.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, fine, here, take your pictures. He took a couple of things, and the guy's like, thanks, man, I'll take care of that ticket for you for that. Thanks.
That's so sweet.
He needed the thing. It was like a good relationship.
How does he do the paparazzi?
Because he's Seinfeld. I don't know how he does anything.
He just does it nicely, and they just
he goes
walk
on stage with a smile and makes $1 billion off of it. I have no fucking idea how he does it. He's a magician.
I don't know how you could treat those people with respect, though.
They're pieces of shit. Seinfeld's a great guy.
Yeah.
Let's get back into this guy.
Kick their ass, Monzon.
Monzon. So he does. He kicks their asses. Unfortunately, half of them are probably women. We have no idea.
Good point.
Sure, they're not, but
good point.
He'll pretend they are.
Yeah.
June 30th, 1975, his only fight ever in Madison Square Garden in New York City.
But he did one.
He did one. He beats Tony Licata with a TKO at 243 at round 10 in a scheduled 15-rounder.
That's pretty impressive.
He knocks the shit out of him, and
he smokes 5 packs a day.
And they ask him, what are you going to do after the fight? And this was before the fight. They ask him, what are you going to do after the fight? And he says, quote, after the fight, I will smoke a cigarette, drink a cold glass of wine, and go make a movie. That's what he's all about.
I love him.
He's honest as shit,
He's
I'll say
so
that.
great.
And now June 1976, he fights the aforementioned Rodrigo Valdez, who they gave the other title to.
The title to, right.
This is to unify the thing here. Monzon beats him in a decision. The fans are upset with the decision, some of them, even though he probably won still.
Yeah.
But Monzon says basically there's a thing about there's too many Argentinian judges and there's an Argentinian referee, and there was a lot of complaints about the ring. Valdez's manager, Gil Clancy, said that, quote, Monzon was gouging Rodrigo's eyes and rabbit punching. I wanted those ropes tightened. They were slackened before the fight. There's no way Monzon could win if the ropes were as they should be. I still thought my boy won anyway because the ropes were loose, and he would do he was big on the Muhammad Ali lean back in the ropes, rope-a-dope you kind of. So he would lean all the way back, and as tall as he was, the guy can't get to his face.
Right.
So when they
wear him out,
when you're in your hometown, you can tell the guys, "Hey, make those ropes a little loose," and you have a big advantage.
Pull a couple screws out of there. Yeah.
That's all it is. Monzon on the fight, in their own words, says, quote, I never did doubt I'd win. I was sure of myself despite Valdez's valor. He's definitely the greatest champion I've ever met. He even hurt me in the 8th round. So, I mean, he's giving the guy some props.
But in the 10th, he rocked him.
But then it wasn't good enough. But the fight was called. They blame the ref. Or it's a decision. They blame the ref for the decision, even though the judges make it. Now, after the fight, Monzon signs on to do another movie. This is the one that he shoots in Italy.
He wasn't playing. He will make another movie.
He will make another movie because they had deals. Like, you keep fighting, you keep getting movies.
Right.
Because that keeps you famous.
Yep.
That was literally the deal. Like, after he'd win, they'd go, okay, you want another fight, you get one more movie. And they were signing him to one movie at a time after every fight.
Fighting for movies.
Yeah. He fights, that's a promotion for their movie, and then they make the movie. So this is the one where he goes to Italy with Jimenez, and they have brawls and everything else.
They list his credits in his fucking fights.
They do. That's
fighting in the blue quarter. You may have seen him in this movie.
El Macho.
And La Mary.
Starring Burt Sugar standing behind him. El Macho sounds like it could be a movie where Burt Sugar finally conquers him sexually.
Finally gets to that beehole.
So, August 1st, 1976, Monzon's in a Buenos Aires casino playing cards when he claims that a drunk asked him for some money, said he had lost all his money, asked him for money. He refused and said the man attacked him and started punching him, but he didn't fight back. He was held briefly. I don't buy that for a second.
Believe it, no.
I think he got up, knocked the shit out of the guy, and everyone said, you saw him attack me, I didn't touch him. And they all went, yeah, he attacked the champ. That's what they did.
He threw a couple of 20s at some people. Like, he hit me.
He gave him a little short right hook and dropped his ass. I was pretty sure here. Now, August 2nd, 1976. Remember this Daniel Moreno, the photographer from 1967?
Oh, my God, he keeps coming back.
This is still out here. 1976, August 2nd. Carlos is sentenced to 1.5 years in prison for the assault of this photographer. He immediately files appeal, which he'll remain free while the appeal is pending, because, I mean, Christ, he's been out for 10 years, 9 years. Not like it's,
No, it's not like he's going to go disappear.
No, he's just going to go beat his wife. That's what he does, unfortunately. So December 7th, 1976, there is a ruling in his appeal of that appeal for the sentence of 1.5 years, and the judge rules that the injuries sustained by the photographer were not serious enough to warrant a prison sentence, and calls it a day for this case, and he's out.
I'm actually relieved.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I don't know what the guy did,
for
but
him.
he was probably being a dick.
Sticking around for 10 years trying to put the fucker in jail?
That's already.
Really?
Get out of it. You're fine.
Right.
I mean,
you got PTSD,
Christ.
you dick. Go home.
So he's fighting. What will end up being his final fight now is going to be in 1977, a rematch with Valdez to cement it. Monzon is training hard for him. I mean, whatever. They're still saying he's not training hard, too. There's articles like, well, he's going out and hanging out with his friends and whatever. But
smoking like crazy.
Jean-Claude Boutier, who is a boxer who lost twice to Monzon, said, quote, a guy working like that is working for an early knockout. He's told me that he wants everyone to remember him as one of the all-time greats, so he's planning on going out with a little flair.
Oh.
So he's saying that he's training hard for him, and he would know, I'm sure. The final fight is July 30th, 1977, set for 15 rounds. Monzon wins the last fight with a unanimous decision, 15-rounder, retains all his titles. This one's a little less controversial. Everybody kind of thought he won it. Wasn't a big deal.
Going out like Peyton Manning.
Pretty much, yeah. Final record in boxing is 87 wins, 3 losses, and 9 draws. That's professionally.
Wow.
Never mind all his amateur fights. Won no contest also.
He fought so much.
Professional career, he fought 672 rounds.
Oh, my
600. That's about 2,000 minutes of someone punching you.
Throwing.
Imagine that. Imagine how long 2,000 minutes is. Now imagine that's with someone constantly trying to punch you.
Yeah.
Your brain is fucked up.
Yeah.
Your brain is messed up.
You caught a few.
All of these guys that we cover, and a lot of them, the NFL players for them, but especially the fighters, they all have these crazy, violent, tempers.
We've covered some football players that didn't even make the professional team. They played a practice squad.
Who knows? Yeah,
they didn't get rocked like
fighters. These guys. I mean, he's had 200 fights, including amateur. He's gotten his brain.
And he sat down on that stool and been like, "He really got me that round."
Yeah, I'd been rung my bell there. August 1st, he had an iron jaw though. He never got knocked out, and all his losses were decisions. August 1st, 77, he announces his retirement. Also says that he's set to film the movie Rifle 3030, ready to go here.
You won't see me in the ring anymore, but you can see me.
You can
August
see me.
31st.
He was plugging. He's like, you can't see me in Rifle 3030 coming out in Argentina Films. See me with my latest girlfriend that I'm beating the shit out of off the set. Yeah. Watch her sunglasses. See how nice they are.
Watch the sunglasses exponentially get better
they
throughout
get bigger
the film.
and better throughout the whole film. Also talks about his cattle ranch in Santa Fe. Just hubris. He has tons of apartment houses that he owns, that he rents.
And he's just bragging about it.
And a car rental and sale agency. So he's just bragging. He's saying, I'm doing well. Retirement here. Tons of articles saying he won't stay retired. He loves the limelight. People that know him well are like, no, this isn't going to last long. He's like 35 years old, too, at this. For boxing, that's like
that's
time
old
to hang it
enough.
up.
Yeah.
And everybody said, too, he's slipping in the ring. Like you could tell he didn't look like he did in 70 when he fought Benvenuti in 75. So I watched that, too. Now, on retiring, he says, no, I'm done here. And in their own words here, quote, I have already done enough. Now I am going to leave boxing for the young. I'm definitely retiring. I'm saying it today, and I will confirm it officially in the next few days. So he's saying he's going to give up his titles and all that kind of shit. He's done, man. He's out. He's cashing it in. He's cashing
35 years old is enough.
35 years old. He fought 100 fights. Yeah. That's enough now.
2,000 minutes. We did the
math.
math.
He has a ton of fucking money.
That's too much.
For the 70s Argentina, he has a bunch of money, and I have some actual numbers on what he had at this point because his old lawyer brings up his net worth at this time, and we can watch it dwindle over the years, as I'll show you. Yeah, he's going to have a hard fall coming up here.
Fantastic.
It's not going. Now he's like this easing into retirement, but he doesn't do well in retirement. His relationship with Jimenez, 1977, it ends when, among other things, beating the shit out of her all the time, and she has an alleged affair with an actor-singer named Cacho Castellana.
He sounds sexy.
He sounds, I'm sure he's very sexy. He was got like a 70s Tom Jones jumpsuit on, I think,
Well
hair,
manicured eyebrows.
Oily man.
Yes,
very smooth.
Very smooth.
Very smooth and oily.
Lots of olives.
Now, December 15th, 1977. Now, remember the thing with his wife where he was assaulted his wife? At some point in there, now, we don't have the exact date, but he was sentenced to a 6-month prison sentence for that. So an appeals court on December 15th, 1977, upholds a 6-month prison sentence for assaulting his ex-wife. But now this is December 15th. Official sources say that Monzon is unlikely to actually go to jail because the government will probably give him what they call, quote, a Christmas pardon. Merry Christmas. Beat your wife all you want.
We'll get rid of those 6 months. Get back to kicking her ass.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. Get on in there. I bet she's burning something. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Sing Jingle Bells as you blast her in the face. That's crazy.
No, you punched your wife. You don't get a Christmas pardon. No. Sorry. Now, 1978, he meets Alicia Muniz. Muniz. Now, she is a Uruguayan model, and she's a ballerina, from what I understand. And they begin a relationship. He meets her. It's contested. There's conflicting stories, and honestly, it's half of them say one thing, half of them say another.
Gotcha.
Half of them say they met in an airport. Half of them say she was out to lunch with her friends, and he was at the lunch with his friends, and he went up and talked to her.
Either way,
doesn't fucking matter.
Their paths crossed.
Their paths cross. They meet the next day. He goes to like a beauty parlor that she ran to talk to her, and so he's hooking up with her. He's trying to get in with her.
He's going out of his way to find her.
They start an extremely rocky relationship. Big shocker here. Now, of all of this, he gives an interview in 1979. And it's an interview about everything because they ask him about his wife, beating his wife and everything else. And he says, this is like his listen, this is what I do. This is my problem. He says, in their own words, quote, the violence is my fault. It's my worst fault. All my friends tell me that before I get angry, I should count to 10. But when I get to 2, I explode. No self-control whatsoever. None.
They all tell me to count to 10, but they don't realize that I only went to school until 3rd grade.
They don't realize I can only count to 2. That's as high as I go. And by then, I'm enraged anyway.
I'm furious. Then they tell me count to 10, and I get to 2, and I'm like, I can't. What comes after 2?
God damn it. Oh, and then he starts attacking people. Shit. 1980 article, Monzon says that his wardrobe consists of 46 suits, 200 shirts and ties, and 300 pairs of shoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a well-dressed man.
That's he's like the magazines, like the Argentinian GQ, he's always like the most well-dressed man in the country.
Sounds like
he's Joe fucking Cool Slick. I mean, you heard what Burt Sugar said about him. He's a fine hunk of man meat.
So get in that beehole.
His attorney, Evan Raimondi, who left him in 1977, said that Monzon, when he had left him, Monzon had $6 million money, plus
in the 70s.
35 apartment buildings, or 35 apartments, 2 houses, a Mercedes, several trucks, and a cattle ranch.
He's doing all right.
So he said his assets were worth a total of $10 million when he left him, and that's in 1977. So that's big money in 1977. Yeah, so
that's forever money.
Yeah, that's generational, especially in South fucking America.
Forget it.
It's not like you're going to go move to Beverly Hills and blow it on a house. You could have half of Argentina for that kind of money. So let's see here. Monzon and Alicia in 1981 are married in Miami. Now this is the one that sort of counts. They're married in Miami. They take it down to Argentina. It's never officially put into their paperwork down there. Yeah, it's never entered into the system. Like we said, who knows what the hell kind of systems they have down there. But I assume it's organized enough to know when people are married. But not in this case, so they don't know about that. 1981, later on in the year, they have a son together named Maximiliano.
Oh, boy.
You meet women, you beat them up, you knock them up. That's his thing that he's got.
And then
beat them up, knock them
up.
An
amazing name like that.
Name your kids some crazy, crazy bullshit. Monzon tells the press at this point, this is moral epiphany time right here. This is I had a moral epiphany, see Dave Meggett 2 episodes ago. Monzon tells the press, quote, this is the beginning of a new life for me. So, I mean, he is not...
I'm straight Catholic, I don't punch broads.
I'm not punching anybody anymore, goddammit. I am taking care of Maximiliano.
Put my hands in my pockets.
Alicia, hands in the pockets. I've learned to count to 10.
They're deep. I learned to count to 10.
I got my GED.
And I got to 10 million, by the way. I learned to count to 10. I learned to count to 10 by counting my millions.
Counting my millions. So February 1981, he is, new leaf, new beginning. He's arrested for possession of a gun.
Oh, God.
Not quite a new beginning for this guy here. Does 1 month in jail. In March. He's released April 15th, 1981. 1983, he's inducted into the Ring Boxing Hall of Fame. Is also inducted into the World Boxing Hall of Fame.
My goodness.
In 83. During the 80s, Alicia would give interviews telling them about their private life because they were, like a famous couple and like what they do and positive shit, though.
Let's talk about the legend.
She wouldn't really talk about the beatings at that point. They break up in 84. They separate. They have a lot of problems, mainly from his physical abuse, obviously. everybody knows that he hits Alicia too. It's just a known thing. Neighbors hear it. Everybody hears it. Plus, it's him.
Right.
He's got a woman. He's beating her. Period. That's it. They separate in '84, but they would be on and off for years. Okay. I mean, they're like every shitty couple that shouldn't be near each other. They can't get the fuck away from each other.
Every white trash couple.
Yep, that's it. And she's very white too.
Really?
She's got like blonde hair and like light eyes and white skin, like very white. Like she looks, but no, she looks Irish. She doesn't even look like. It's very weird.
That's so
you wouldn't
sexy.
look at her and go, she's from Uruguay, at all. It's very strange.
A Spanish girl that looks like that is so
then again,
hot.
I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to look like if you're from Uruguay. Right. I have no idea.
I'm assuming black hair, brown eyes,
She's
olive
probably,
skin.
I assume, like a German Nazi defectors, whatever. I mean, I don't know, but
that sounds sexy as fuck, though.
But yeah, 87, and she's an attractive girl.
I wouldn't be able to get past fucking her to be able to punch her.
Oh well, he has no problem with that, boy. And we'll get into an incident that's coming up that is beyond the pale.
Maybe he's gay.
Maybe it's possible, but I don't know. We'll ask Bert Sugar. And I think Bert Sugar's still alive.
I mean, that was his motivation to win those fights with that other guy.
He touched my ass.
Yeah,
Only someone struggling with that.
Only a closeted homosexual would use that as motivation.
Someone grabbed your ass in the pre-fight, you would laugh at him. And be like, you just grabbed my ass. That's hilarious. Holy
Dude,
shit.
We're totally gonna fight later.
That's fucking funny. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Moving on. Who cares? He was like, I'll kill him. That's not normal. In 1987, Alicia tries to go back to modeling because she just figures she's done with him, so she tries to get back into the modeling game. She says of him in 1987 in an interview, she says, quote, "I love him, but he will never change. He will continue being violent. I cannot go back to living with him, but neither can I live without him."
Yeah.
That is the ultimate.
She just said, men can't live with him, can't live without him.
It's the ultimate abused woman thing.
Yeah.
He's never going to change. I can't live with him, but I can't live without him.
Right.
And now,
bad
things are going to happen.
I'll be back.
Yeah, God, this poor woman, man. 1988, January of 1988, Carlos is telling friends that he's going to spend the next few months trying to reconcile with Alicia. That's all he cares about. That is in January of 1988. Also in January of 88, Boxing Illustrated writers poll names him the second greatest middleweight of all time.
Behind who?
I think Sugar Ray Robinson.
Oh, it's a good person to be behind.
Yeah, I believe Sugar Ray Robinson, which is fine. You're fine.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
You're a legend. You're cemented.
It's a damn good fighter. Yeah,
in history.
Now, February 14th, 1988. This is where things. Poor Alicia should have. This is where the quote where you go, no, Alicia, go, run far away,
live your life.
Find another continent far away from this man. They are in a beach resort. It's a beach resort city called Mar del Plata, and it's a coastal beach deal. And she apparently, it's not known whether, there's conflicting reports of whether it was her friend's apartment that they were staying at together or it was her apartment that he was paying for. There's no real, we're not sure about it, but either way, they have this apartment there. It's right by the beach. They go out to dinner with a bunch of friends. They drink heavily all night, and they're just wrecked. I mean,
smoking.
There's witnesses saying that they stumbled into taxis and got taken home, and they were trashed. I mean, they didn't even drive, and they don't give a shit.
That's not a good concoction for an evening.
No, they get home in the middle of the night after this night, and they're just hammered, and bad things are happening here, man. They begin to fight about what Monzon says is about money around 4:30 in the morning. They start fighting. The fight was loud. Basically, both parties end up falling off the second-story balcony onto the street. Muniz dies. She has a fractured skull and dies. And Monzon has a broken ribs and a cracked hip out of this fucking thing. Now, let's get into what happened on this evening. That's the result of the whole deal. Now, he tells police that he doesn't remember what happened. He admitted to fighting with Alicia and hitting Alicia that night, but he doesn't remember what happened after that. Yeah. He doesn't know if she fell off or what happened. He thinks that he was trying to save her as she fell off the balcony or whatever. He's held at home for the moment to nurse his injuries because he's all fucked up. Then he's transferred to a jail. So now he's in jail. His wife is dead. The other wife, God knows what. She has these three kids to deal with. There's people dead. There's photographers. And Burt Sugar's longing for cock. I feel bad.
Burt Sugar has blue balls.
I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I really do. I feel Horrible for them.
Unbelievable.
But not even close to as bad as I feel for Carlos Monzon, the associate at Magnum Capital Industrial Partners in Spain. Carlos Monzon, the senior EDI systems analyst at Baker & Taylor in the U.S. He went to DeVry, that guy. Look at him. He followed instructions on a commercial. Carlos Monzon, the handyman in El Centro, California.
Oh, my goodness.
No reviews on Angie's list there, so I don't know if we should use him
Don't let him in.
Don't let him in, guys. Carlos Monzon, the strategic account manager at Tableau Software in Mexico. Carlos Monzon, Venezuelan journalist with over 25 years of experience. Carlos Monzon, a criminal and workers' compensation attorney in Lincoln, Nebraska, who's been on the top 100 trial lawyers list since 1997.
How about that?
Carlos Monzon, a politician running for New Hampshire State House in the 13th District. He's a Democrat.
He doesn't beat his wife, you guys.
Finally, poor Dr. Carlos Monzon, MD, pediatric hematology and oncology. He takes care of kids with cancer and blood problems in Olathe, Kansas, and it says he's accepting new patients.
Doing his best to straighten out that name.
Give poor Carlos Monzon a call if your kid is fucked up, please. And that hopefully they don't have cancer. Hopefully you don't need to see Dr. Monzon, but in case you do, he has not beat his wife that we know of.
And he's doing his best to clear that name.
Certainly didn't kill her. Now back to our story. Didn't do it at all. Now back to our story, our Carlos here. He's just been, the murder has just, or a death has just occurred. Right. We don't know what happened. Irusta, back to our buddy Irusta, says on the murder, quote, people were stupefied when it happened. It was a Sunday during summer when there is not much news happening. Everyone was talking about how Monzon had killed Alicia. There was no talk of it having been an accident. So he's like, everybody's like, oh yeah, he killed her because he beats the shit out of every woman he's ever. Everyone knows it, so they're like, yeah, he went a little too far this time.
His relationships are sponsored by Oakley. They're always wearing glasses. They're
always wearing glasses, big ones, big Gloria Vanderbilt cataract fucking glasses.
They got the biggest Ray-Bans they can find.
She invented blue blockers, I think. Jimenez herself was like, I need to get this better. So his daughter, Abel...
Black and blue blockers.
Right. Go
on, sorry.
His so invented a terrible 90s SNL commercial sketch.
I'm so embarrassed.
That's more of a living color. Never mind, sorry. Or a Mad TV. His daughter, Abel, said, quote, there are many that want to dirty the image of Papa, but it is this we are sure. But of this we are sure. Our Papa is not a murderer. Well, you're not quite that sure. Because on February 26th...
Stop being so proud of your dad.
No. A week later, February 21st, 1988, Carlos is formally charged with non-aggravated murder, which means there's no premeditation to it, which means he's just a nut job.
He just killed her just because.
Whack job lunatic, basically. Yeah, they basically said, he's crazy, so it's fine.
Right.
After the arrest, he gives a statement to the press saying, quote, in their own words, quote, I am well and confident. All should be calm because I am going to leave here soon, because I am innocent and I believe in God and justice. So he's out of his fucking mind, basically.
What does that even mean?
He said, God will not let them fuck me over.
Yeah.
And clearly I'm being fucked over here. This is, he's out of his mind.
Awesome.
So crazy that the next day, February 22nd, 1988, Monzon's given his second psychological test from since being arrested.
Because that first one, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
let's do this again.
They don't know, they can't figure him out, basically. They're like, we need to, take a look at him. He just got arrested the day before, formally, so.
And they're doing 2 on him already.
2 already, yeah. They're like, we did one yesterday. Let's go ahead and run him. Let's go ahead and run him through one more time.
The first one, did you turn the machine on and off again? Because something's wrong with it. It clearly has to not be right.
He's a little messed up. His attorney, Horatio Della Canale, said that he will wait for the test results before deciding whether or not to try to get his client out of jail at the moment.
Yeah.
Basically, he might be insane. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. I'm going to back off for a second. So Friday, he's held without bail this whole time. And basically, later on, he's going to be charged with second-degree murder is what it ends up being. Basically, that's their version
That's the best they can get out of it?
Faces up to 25 years.
Oh, that's deep.
It's a steep one. Yeah, it's still murder. Now, the autopsy, this is what's crazy.
There's first bruises fucking everywhere.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. They find bruises, old fractures, things like that. Like they find on abused kids and shit.
Old fractures that she didn't go to the doctor for.
Shot in the ribs, things like that.
Yeah.
But the first autopsy says she seemed to have died from the fall.
Okay.
And they say, yeah, she died from the fall, which still you don't know if he shoved her off, but they said she died from the fall. Second autopsy was done, though, at the request, no, let's not say request, at the insistence of the Muniz family, Alicia's family.
Good for them.
Yeah, and that autopsy showed signs of strangulation and also other facial bruising.
Oh, my God.
Like fresh facial bruising. So a medical examiner thinks she was unconscious when she went off the balcony also.
So he was like so drunk he tried to toss her off and then like the momentum yanked him with her?
Well, we'll see what he says in a second here, because on June 28th, 1989, this is a year later, he's still in jail, waiting trial.
Wow.
The trial begins. Carlos testifies. They testify a lot down there. He's testifying here. He gets on the stand, says it was an accident, and he was trying to save her from going over. Prosecutors asked him about beating his wives and whether he beat Alicia, because they're trying to set up a pattern here.
Sure.
Here it is. Well, this is, wow. Here it is, guys. The most brazen fucking quote in the history of In Their Own Words. Music's going here. Let's go. Let's do this. In their own words, this is him in a court of law on the stand with people watching and a person typing and a judge with a robe on the record. Press there, everything. His mom probably, who knows. Okay. In their own words, quote, "We started to quarrel and I gave her a punch and squeezed her neck a bit. I don't think the punch could have affected her. I hit other women on other occasions, and nothing ever happened to any of them. I've hit all my women except one, and nothing has ever happened to any of them." End fucking quote.
Wow.
I hit all my women.
I beat all the bitches.
He got
How did she die?
A stand and literally tried to defend himself by saying, "I've hit every woman I've ever come in contact with. Clearly, I know how to hit women. I'm the guy."
You gotta. It's an upward. It's an upward.
I'm the guy that when you hit women, you come to me.
If you got a question,
I know how to do it. Clearly.
Do you got your wife here? I'll show you.
Listen, I'm a playboy. I go out there. I go out in the town. Do you have any fucking idea how many women I've hit? Any idea?
I'm a professional.
I'm a professional, nay professional boxer. I'm a professional woman hitter. Now, that said, who needs a punch in the face?
The only reason
nothing's going to happen.
The only reason I fight these other fights in the ring to get these belts and these titles is because they don't offer them for what I really do.
And that gives me prettier women to hit.
Right.
Because that's what I'm really after. And the other thing is, too, I've hit all my women except one.
Where's she at?
Clearly, she's telling the truth, because he didn't need to throw that in there.
Right.
He sounds like a monster. That wasn't mitigating. That didn't make it sound better. Oh, well, there's one he didn't hit. It's fine.
There's one that
what did she do to not get hit is what I want to know. What was her game with him? Like, she must have been a bad motherfucker.
It was Burt Sugar.
It was a black woman, I bet. I bet you anything it was a black woman. He took his hand up once. She said, "Hell no, motherfucker." And she, like, hit him with a pot. And he went, "Whoa, shit, never mind." Then again, you could shoot this guy and it doesn't matter. He's still
It doesn't matter.
So who knows, man?
It was clearly Burt Sugar.
Yeah.
He said all the right things.
That's true.
That's why he didn't get it.
I could just picture Monzon. I want to get a picture. I want to Photoshop. We'll get Sarah to see if she can do this. I want to Photoshop just Burt Sugar just rubbing the back of his hand on Monzon's cheek, like real romantically.
In a sunset on the beach.
I would like to see that. So that quote there, when I read that quote, that was one of the first things I read when I was looking at this story. And I read that quote and I said, "We're doing this now."
That's our guy.
That's our guy, because I will build the whole episode around that right there. I said, I'm getting that down. I don't give a shit what else happens. I don't care what else he did. That's enough right there. Now, June 28th, also, this is what he says.
That's his defense.
That's his defense. Yeah, that's not something they overheard him talking to the phone on his friend on the phone with his friend. This is what he said in court to defend himself.
That's the catchphrase for the fucking movie.
Holy shit. Rifle 30-30. That's El Macho is what that movie is. So June 28th, same day, 1989. He says that, but other witnesses have a different view of it. Witnesses testify that they saw Monzon actually toss his wife from the balcony. Neighbors say the argument woke them up, so it was a big argument. A garbage man, a rubbish collector as they called him, which sounds much better than a garbage man. A garbage man sounds like a man made of garbage. A rubbish collector sounds like he's discriminately picking things. Like that piece yes, that piece no. Leave that on the street.
A garbage man actually describes Monzon. He's a garbage man.
He's a garbage man. He said, quote, He gave her a 1-2 combination of cross punches to the face, and she fell to the floor.
Wow.
He continued to say, this is Rafael Cristiano Baez. He continues to say that he saw Monzon carry her, throw her over the shoulder, and carry her to the balcony, quote, like a sack of potatoes, and toss her off the balcony.
Wow.
Now, another one here. Now, at the time, his defense attorney demanded that Baez be prosecuted for perjury because this can't be true until a second witness gets up. Rafael Mayano says that he also saw Monzon toss the exact same thing, just walked over an unconscious woman, threw her over the balcony. And what he did also was he jumped off with her on purpose. He tossed her and then went on top of her so he could go, I was trying to save her, I fell off. That was his way of being like, we both fell.
Right.
It was horrible.
It was totally premeditation.
Yeah, exactly. He just they said he tossed her off and then he jumped off. It's a second story thing. He just jumped off, landed, cracked a couple of ribs, messed his hip up, and that was that.
Amazing.
You guys got some fucking sack on him, I'll tell you what.
If I saw that, I would be fucked up for
holy
long.
Shit.
What the fuck did I just watch?
I hope that's a doll.
Yeah.
I hope that's like 3 pillows.
Yeah.
Like, that can't be a human being.
Did that guy just throw his mattress up? Oh my God, he jumped.
And she landed head first, too, on the street.
Geez.
That's why fractured skull, she was dead immediately, basically. She was dead on arrival of paramedics. She was done. So, that was a horrible way to go out. I mean, beaten up, punched, choked. They said he probably choked her into unconsciousness or knocked her out, either one, and then decided to fling her off the balcony. He's super drunk, the whole deal. That's the other thing, too. He's saying, I had a lot to drink and I don't remember. So, which isn't an excuse for killing someone.
Yeah.
He is convicted of simple homicide, they call it. I guess that's what the charge broke down to on July 3rd, 1989.
Okay.
It's a Monday. He's sentenced, this is just the first part, don't worry. He's sentenced to pay court costs, $25,000 to the Muniz family.
That's fucking chintzy.
And 11 years in prison.
That's pretty steep.
That's sir, good. You can fuck off. You can take yourself.
You can say it exactly like that.
You can get fucking off.
Yeah.
Not 25 would have been fuck off. This is like, you can fuck off for a while, mister. Take a fucking hike here. Monzon says he will appeal. This is horse shit.
11 years of local TV. Get to it.
Get to it. Yeah, he's not happy. Of the conviction, his lawyer, one of his lawyers, Patricia Perillo, says, quote, this trial has just begun. Actually, it's over now.
Yeah.
You just got convicted and sentenced to you're a convicted murderer.
Right.
The conviction is the end of it's not just begun.
I don't think she's a very good lawyer.
I don't think she knows how law works exactly, this one. Muniz family lawyer Rodolfo Vega Leach was attacked outside the courtroom after this.
Wow.
Because there's a ton of his fans out there, and there's a lot of people chanting murderer, and there's a lot of people chanting go Carlos, go Monzon, get him Monzon, and shit like that. They beat this guy silly, this lawyer.
Because they didn't get him off.
No, this is Muniz family lawyer, just for representing them.
Oh, my God.
He's involved with the poor woman who got killed.
My God.
So he's the enemy. They beat him and hit him with sticks and stones. And they will break your bones,
They do.
He knows
They
now.
do.
He knows they do. He wishes they would have used words at this point. Because holy shit. Wow. This poor bastard.
He caught an ass beating.
So finally he says about everything, and this is, he wouldn't admit to the murder part of it, but he says about his whole, he would sum it up basically, Carlos. He says, in their own words, quote, me and my bad temper are the ones really responsible. Yes, my bad temper. No shit, asshole.
Afraid so.
You can't get to 3.
Yeah.
You have a terrible temper. This doesn't stop the International Boxing Hall of Fame from inducting him in 1990.
What?
They're like, fine, whatever, kill your wife.
They'll hang on to him.
Sure. They don't even keep him. They induct him that year. He's a new inductee.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they inducted him. This is a different Hall of Fame. International
Did
Boxing
they not
Hall
hear?
of Fame. They didn't give a shit. Like, fuck it. He had a good left hook. Who cares? Nice straight right hand. You see Benvenuti take a fucking dive? Forget about it.
I saw somebody else take a dive, too, right off a fucking balcony.
Now, here is my favorite story in the whole thing here. 1993... while he's in prison, Mickey Rourke is your actor that I was referring to earlier. A guy who thinks he's a boxer.
I was going with Rocky.
Stallone?
Yeah, I was thinking Stallone.
Check your scorecards, guys. Because he was nominated too.
Right.
Okay, that's smart. I didn't even think of that. But yes, Mickey Rourke is filming a movie in Argentina. He goes down to visit Monzon because he's a big boxing guy. He had a few kind of half-assed pro bouts, Mickey Rourke, and he claims he's a badass and a boxer.
If you saw Sin City, he's pretty badass in that movie.
Okay, well, he had some boxing matches, and he wanted to talk shop with Monzon.
Yeah.
So he brought the film crew from the film set to come and preserve the whole thing because he was super proud of it, and he was going to talk to him about everything. And he talked Monzon into sparring with him in the prison gym.
He went to the jail?
He went to the jail.
He went to the prison and said, dude, let's go a couple rounds.
Come on. So he said, yeah, sure.
He's in prison for beating somebody.
And also, he is, 50 years old at this point, too. And Mickey Rourke is in his prime. Mickey Rourke doesn't look like what he does now. This is 1993. So Mickey Rourke's not in his prime because he was a disaster physically, but he's still, in better shape than a 50-year-old who smokes 5 packs a day.
It's also not the face that Mickey Rourke has now.
No.
Mickey Rourke's face is a little more surgically fucked up now.
There might be a reason for that because basically the first left that Monzon landed, he knocked Rourke out cold.
Awesome.
Knocked him out cold with the first landed left hand.
That
not
is
even
amazing.
his right. He just left and he knocked his ass out cold. He said, "You're not a boxer, asshole." That's what he did. Because he probably went in there and he's like, "I fight and I get blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Oh, yeah, you fight? Okay, yeah. I'll spar with you, sure." And then knocked his ass out.
Sir.
I am a world champion middleweight. I won 80 straight fights, you dickhead. There's 70 straight fights.
That's amazing.
Even the best part of it all, the crew sold stills of it out to the public. So if you look for it, you can probably find online
I'm gonna find that.
Stills of Mickey Rourke out fucking cold from the left hand from Monzon.
Picture.
As much as I hate Monzon, and I think he's a douchebag, and I can't fucking stand him, I have to say, for Mickey Rourke at this point, his film career is in the toilet, what's the only thing worse is if the shawarma man popped into the gym, stood over him like Debo and Friday and said, "How is it you've come to arrive here? Huh? Why are you here? Why are you here? Signs say closed. Do you hear anything? What? You want shawarma? I make for you. Fine, but you come now. Business hour. Give me money.
The signs say closed.
Signs say closed. How is it you've come to arrive here? Why? Why are you here?" And then he woke up and said, "I'd like a lamb shawarma, please." So, sorry, I had to do that one.
He's got the lamb rotisserie going around his head.
So Arusta here says of Carlos in jail,
this is, by the way, Mickey Rourke fresh out of like Marlboro Man and remember that movie?
Harley
Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Yeah, this is.
That's about that time.
Thought he was tough.
He thought he's like, I jumped off a hotel roof into a swimming pool. I can take a punch.
Take a left hand from a middleweight champ, asshole. Arusta says of him in jail, quote, "He was another man. When he was champion, he was like a king or a lion. He used to walk in that way that made him look important. In jail, he was nothing. The man who used to give orders to people was now a man who said, 'Yes, sir, yes, sir.' Yes, it's a sad story."
Oh, boy.
So, I mean, he just went down. He gets paroled to where he's going to be early released. This is in late 94. Mm-hmm. He's going to be released in late 95. I think August of 95, they're going to release him. Okay. So what they start doing in 94 is they start letting him out on furlough on the weekends to see his family and children, and also to run a boxing thing for kids. He does a boxing
trying to acclimate him back into society.
Yeah, they're trying to get some use out of him, basically, too. So he is January 8th, 1995. He's coming back to Las Flores prison after a weekend furlough, and he is in a countryside road. He has 2 friends with him, also a Geronimo Motora and an Alicia Guadalupe Cecia. And it's a small town about 300 miles north of Buenos Aires, and he is driving a Renault, which is a shitty car.
Yeah.
He's driving a Renault. I don't know if they make nice Renaults. They might. I have no idea.
They do not.
But he basically loses control of the car on the road. The car flips and rolls. He's tossed 50 meters from the car.
Amazing.
They find him dead in a ditch. So
what?
He's killed. Geronimo Motora is killed, and the Alicia Guadalupe Cecia was badly injured in the accident. So
amazing.
He's fucking dead.
It's over.
It's over. Carlos is dead. He's just before he's about to get out of prison. He had 6 more months in jail, and he dies in this car accident.
He was looking forward to punching bitches, and it is over.
It's over for him, man. Basically, Arusta says on his legacy, quote, "On one hand, there was a group who considered him a murderer, and they crucified him. There were others who, on the sporting side, saw him as a great champion and as someone who looked after his family and cared about them, unless he was killing them.
Yeah.
That's my thing, not his. He always maintained that he couldn't remember what happened that night with Alicia. When I got to his funeral in Santa Fe, people sang "Go Champion" for the people of Go Champion. For the people of Santa Fe, he isn't a murderer. Aside from those horrendous events, he is Monzon, the world champion. So, aside from wife killing and beating and being a general menace to society,
aside from being a garbage
guy.
Man,
he's a great guy. He's a great guy. No problem. It's unreal. And you know how many people were at his funeral? 30,000. 30,000. There's pictures of it. You can't. The streets are packed. You can't move with the casket going down the middle of the street. It's insane. Like the king died.
He got an Ali burial.
Amazing. Oh, absolutely. It's insane.
Wow.
He's a hero in that country. In 1995, his new attorney, not the one we talked to before, a guy named Juan Jose Nitri, who was his attorney from 1987 until he died, said he, quote, never had much money, which I don't understand that. Maybe by 87 he didn't. I said at the time of his death he had less than $100,000, which is why he was driving a Renault.
Yeah.
Now, if you love this guy and can't get enough of him, you can get some memorabilia of him. MillCreekSports.com. You can get the August 8th, 1977 issue of Sports Illustrated autographed by Monzon for $349. This is fucking expensive.
That is steep as fuck.
Yeah, it's the title of the. It says in the magazine, Monzon the Magnificent. It's pretty cool if you're Carlos Monzon.
Yeah.
HeavyweightCollectibles.com. You can get an 8x10 autographed picture of Monzon for $110. Dude, this is steep shit. You can get a 4-DVD 10-fight DVD set for $13.95 at BoxingWholesale.com. You want to watch
That's
some
the
fights.
cheapest thing we've got.
They're all on YouTube. Just watch them on YouTube. Now, a year after his funeral, after he dies, they erect a Rocky Monument statue of him in Santa Fe. He has a big, him smiling with a belt on and fists on his hip, looking like a champ.
Statues of women at his feet.
They should have statues of like crumbled women at his feet and like a gunshot wound bleeding out of his arm. But they don't, so he's that kind of a hero there, where they have a goddamn statue in the town of him. A huge one. It's not a little statue, it's not a lawn gnome. It's a fucking Rocky statue.
That's incredible.
And above all, of course, the thing that you want to be, there is an entry in the Urban Dictionary for Carlos Monzon, but it's not funny. There's nothing like Urban Dictionary about it, or not even funny, because nothing in there is funny, but there's nothing like, explanatory. It just says, quote, one of the greatest middleweight boxers of all time. Went undefeated in his last 80 fights and unfortunately passed away in a car accident. That's the fucking Urban Dictionary entry.
What is
so
that
disappointed the balls off of me.
There's not even some fucking goofy like you're a real Carlos Monzon.
Nothing. So guys, that's Carlos Monzon. Holy shit, that was a lot to get through. And
he's a blast.
Wow, was that fun.
I'm glad he's dead.
I'm glad he's dead too.
For women's sake.
Less women to be beaten by him.
And I support feminists. I want you to be equal, but I'd
like you to not get punched in the face.
Yeah, I'd like you to, but,
first and foremost, everything else too.
People like him solve that problem. They shut up the girls that are just like
horrible.
all gung ho for.
Apparently, this
I hate
case
feminism in that case.
Well, this case actually brought domestic violence as made it a big issue in Argentina, where actually they started like
giving battered women a voice.
Well, before that, it was a macho thing. It was el macho to punch your wife in the mouth. That was totally fine. That's why would get on the stand and say, "Yeah, I beat all my women." In the U.S., you would never do that in 1989 or 1979.
No.
Short of 1949, you wouldn't do that. Maybe back then. Even then, probably was a little shady. But this was finally being considered like, okay, not allowed, not cool to hit women anymore. So this actually brought about some decent societal change. But anyway, that's Carlos Monzon. I hope you guys enjoyed him. Holy shit.
What a blast.
What a blast. Let's do some shout-outs. What
Let's
do you say?
that. Joe Coplin.
Social media here.
Yeah, Joe Coplin and Lucas Hanzi. Donnie Munsell loved, by the way, he's a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
He was very complimentary of your knowledge of
I
the
appreciated that, by the way. I do
episode.
my homework, man.
Bobby Williams and Chris Burkett and Jason Fuller is a meme-making son of a bitch.
Oh, that was great.
He made so many memes.
Yeah, that was
amazing.
Really good. Thanks for the effort.
And then I found out we have another married couple that
yes,
listen.
Those two.
Allison Gilliard, the wife of our...
The good Reverend Jonathan Gilliard. That's right. The good Reverend Jonathan.
Our Marine hero. And that's his wife, Allison. She listens
the Rev,
as well.
Man. The Rev is good.
She wrote me a nice, sweet letter telling me how great how much she enjoys this and how great we are.
They're nice people. And if you'd like to get some shouted out a little bit...
I hope she says nice things like that to him and keeps her from blasting her in the face.
Please, or I hope she doesn't shoot him either. That would help too. But if you want to follow us on social media and get some shout-outs, these are all people we interact with. At Crime and Sports on Twitter, Facebook.com/Crime and Sports. You can drop us a line, crimeandsports@gmail.com if you want to do it that way. Do that. It's a lot of fun. You can also donate if you want to throw us a few bucks. There's some cool rewards on there. Patreon.com/crimeandsports.
Yes.
We work really hard. We go through a ton of shit, and we're still putting the studio together.
Yeah.
It sounds great now, though, doesn't it? But we're still
it's a work in progress.
We're still making it perfect, honestly. But all of that. But if you don't want to do any of that, short of that, please give us a review on iTunes. That really helps us move up the charts. And never mind the Patreon thing. We want sponsors' money. We don't want yours. We want sponsors' money. We want you guys to sit back, listen, and enjoy the show. That's what the iTunes reviews do. They get us noticed, and they help us a lot. So please do that.
Here's one that I would like to tell you about because I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed it specifically for one particular reason. And it references back to the fact that we're blown away by the different types of cultures and lifestyles and people that listen. And a lady reviewed it 5 stars and said, excellent. That is the title of it. And she said, amazingly well prepared and hysterically funny. I'm a 60-something woman, totally uninterested in sports, but I love these guys. Recommended for any true crime or comedy fan. That's amazing
awesome.
to me.
That's the best review we can get.
Came into town this weekend.
We expect the knuckleheads to like us, and we Jay Wedbetter. We know that we speak to you,
right?
Like we're on whatever.
BuzzFeed.
We get it. We get it. That's tough. Though.
Is ridiculous. My aunt flew into town from South Carolina this week and spent the whole week with us, and she is 60-something. And I can't make that woman laugh because what I think is funny, she looks at me and goes, not in front of the kids, Jimmy.
But guys, that's what I mean. Thank you. Any type of growth we have is you guys. Crime and Sports Movement, we're not journalists. No. We do not have a network even still. We don't have we're not really looking for one, honestly. We're kind of happy, but
listening to Burnt Sugar being a journalist, I don't want to be that journalist. I don't want to be.
We're a couple of comedians
for some dude's butthole
that don't have connections in this particular regard. We don't have guests, so we can't put a big comic on our show and get a bunch of people. We're just putting together. We're working our asses off to give you the best podcast we can possibly put out. So please just help us out. Spread the word. Crime and Sports